بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم اللهم لا علم لنا الا ما علمتنا انك انت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني من رحمة ربي يسر ولا تسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا عليم يا عليم في الاولين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن ابي هريره رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله لما خلق الله ادم مسحه فاستخرج عند مسند هو خالقها من ذريته الى يوم القيامه، وجعل بين عيني كل انسان منهم وبيسا من نور ثم عرضهم على آدم.
Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala narrated Adam alayhi salam, then he was all of the offspring whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created up to the day of Qiyamah came out. And then he put between them, each one of them, right? And then he presented them to Adam alayhi salam. Hello?
ثم فقال اي ربي من هؤلاء؟ قال ذريتك.
Yes. So then Adam alayhi salam asked, who are these people? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is your offspring.
فرأى رجلا منهم فأعجبه وبيس ما بين عينيه قال اي ربي من هذا؟ قال داود.
Yes. So then he saw somebody with an extra light, very handsome person, and he asked, who is this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is Dawud alayhi salam.
فقال ربي كم جعلت عمره؟ قال 60 سنة. قال ربي زده.
Yeah, he asked, what is his lifespan going to be? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, 60 years. So he said, increase upon it.
ربي زده من عمري 40 سنة.
Yeah, so Adam alayhi salam said, increase in him 40 years from my lifetime.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فلما انقضى عمر آدم إلى 40 جاءه ملك الموت فقال آدم أو لم يبقى من عمري 40 سنة.
Yes, so when the time came now for Adam alayhi salam to pass away and there was 40 years left of his life and the Malakul Maut came, take his life, then he said, isn't there 40 years that still remains?
قال أو لم تؤتها ابنك داود.
Yes, didn't you give that 40 years to Dawud alayhi salam?
فجحد آدم فجحدت ذريته.
So Adam alayhi salam, he became what you can say is he protested, or he never just willingly accept, right? So then that's how come his offspring also got this habit of firstly of protesting, going against, right? فَنَسِيَ آدَمُ فَأَكَلَ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ. Adam alayhi salam, he forgot unmindfully, he ate from the tree, and that's where his offspring got that habit of being unmindful of forgetfulness. And like how Adam alayhi salam made a mistake, similarly, the offspring made a mistake. Right? So, one quality which Adam alayhi salam had, which we must also bring into our life, is immediately Adam alayhi salam repented and said that I made a mistake, and he never went to justify his action. So we must also bring that quality of repenting immediately instead of trying to justify our action.
وعن ابي الدرداء رضي الله عنه ان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال خلق الله ادم حين خلقه فضرب كتفه اليمين كتفه اليمنى فاخرج ذريه بيضاء كانهم ضر، وضرب كتفه اليسرى فاخرج ذريته سوداء كانهم حمم، فقال للذي في يمينه الى الجنه ولا أبالي، وقال للذي في كتفه اليسرى إلى النار ولا أبالي. رواه أحمد.
Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala narrates that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he created Adam alayhi salam, when he created him, then he struck the right shoulder and he brought out the offspring that was as if they were white in color and as if they were like ants. Again, he struck the left shoulder and he brought out the black offspring that were like charcoal. And then he said to the ones on the right side, these are the people of Jannah, and Wala Ubali, I do not care. Like there's nothing that can happen. These are the people of Jannah. Nothing can change. This has been created, and these are the people of Jahannam, and nothing can change. I do not care. You know?
وعن أبي نضرة رضي الله عنه أن رجلا من أصحاب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقال له أبو عبد الله دخل عليه أصحابه يعودونه وهو يبكى فقال له ما يبكيك فلم يقل لك رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خذ من شرابك ثم أفطر
شاربك
من شاربك ثم أفطره حتى تلقاني قال بلى ولكن سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن الله عز وجل قبض بيمينه قبضة وأخرى باليد الأخرى وأخرى باليد الأخرى قال هذه لهذا وهذه لهذا ولا أبالي ولا أدري في أي قبضتين أنا رواه أحمد.
Right, so Abu Nadrata radiallahu ta'ala narrated that one of the colleagues of the Sahaba Ikram radiallahu ta'ala of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who was called Abu Abdullah, paid him a visit while he was sick. And then they saw he was crying. Then they asked him, what makes you cry? Did Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam not instruct you to trim the mustache, to clip from the mustache, and continue, persist on doing that until you meet Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam? This was until you meet him in the year after. So he said, yes, but I also heard Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying surely that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the mighty, the glorious, he took a fistful in the right hand and another in the left hand and said that this is for Jannah, this is for this, and this is for that, meaning this is for Jannah and this is for Jahannam. And I don't know which or from which first that I would be. So when Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam instructed Abu Abdullah that he should clip the mustache and continue doing that until he meets him, that was as if it was already a testimony to saying that he's going to meet him in Jannah. He's going to meet him. So it was already like as if it was a guarantee that he was going to enter paradise. But however, before death, he still had this that I don't know which one am I going to be from. Am I going to be from this end or from that end? So that's the what you call we must have. We must have that bain al khawfi wa raja. We must always have the fear that, and we must have the hope also, but we must always have the fear that maybe we're not on the right path. Okay, also Allama TV rahmatullah alayhi, he used this hadith as his proof to say that it is sunnah mu'akkada to always trim the mustache. So by growing a long mustache, that means you're going against the sunnah mu'akkada. Must always trim the mustache. Yeah.
ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أخذ الله ميثاق بني آدم بنعمال يعني عرفت أخرج من قلبه كل ذرية طرأ فنثرهم بين يديه كالرزق ثم كلهم قبلا قال ألست بربكم.
So Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu narrated that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the oath, the covenant from Adam alayhi salam in Na'man, meaning Arafah, when he brought out from the loins all of his offspring whom he was created until Qiyamah, and he shattered them before him like irons, and then he spoke face to face to them, and then he took the covenant. What was the covenant? You know?
ألست بربكم.
Yeah, am I not your Lord?
قالوا بلى شهدنا.
They said, most definitely, بلى شهدنا, we testify.
أن تقولوا يوم القيامة إنا
Lest that they say that on the day of Qiyamah,
إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين.
That we were unmindful of this.
أو تقول إنما أشرك آباؤنا.
Or they say that our forefathers were mushriks, right?
من قبل وكنا.
And from beforehand. And we just follow them being their offspring. من بعدهم, after them.
أفتهلكنا بما فعل المبطلون.
Then they say that, are you going to destroy us just because we are from the ones who committed falsehood? So the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to tell him, this covenant was to tell them that on the day of Qiyamah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring them forward again and ask them, they will have no excuse because they already testified beforehand that Alastu bi rabbikum qalu bala. They said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Lord. Hello?
وعن أبي بن كعب رضي الله عنه
Oh,